When I started my investment portfolio in 2009, I was earning an average of £8 a month in dividends. But today I'm receiving almost £1,300 a month in share dividends, which I could use to pay my bills if I wanted to. My strategy is simple. I spend less than I earn and invest the rest in large cap global giants. I've been doing this for the last 15 years and I have a very ordinary job in the education sector. I find dividends highly motivating, and with around 25 companies in my portfolio, I now receive at least some payments every single month. Not only do I receive this passive income, but there is capital growth too. For example, in 2023, the total return of the portfolio was 9.6% for the whole year. When I receive dividends, I don't spend the money, no. I simply reinvest it back in so it makes even more dividends the next year. No complex mathematics here, just keep feeding the goat and eventually it will be looking after you. I'm now going to show all the passive income I received this month, and if you stay to the end, I'll reveal everything I've been buying and selling, including a new ETF I've bought for the very first time. This is not investment advice and I'm simply showing you my own journey. On the 2nd of May, I received some cash from British American Tobacco. The shares are up slightly this year. They pay a huge dividend of 9.8% spread over 4 payments a year. Dividend history shows a general upward trend. This month, British American Tobacco paid me a total of £225. On the 16th, I received a present from Haleon. The share price is more or less unchanged so far this year. It pays a small dividend of 1.9% spread over 2 payments. The company was created when GSK spun off its consumer healthcare business a couple of years ago. Although small at the moment, the dividend should hopefully continue to grow as the years go by. This month, Haleon paid out a total of £70. If you want to know how many shares I hold in each company mentioned, then I've listed this in the video description. On the 21st, I received some dividends from Lloyds. The shares have been doing very well this year, up over 15%. The yield is decent at 5% spread over 2 payments a year. The banks have been on a bit of a bull run lately. Dividend history has been very up and down over the years as the banking sector can be rather volatile. This month, Lloyds Banking Group paid out a total of £325. There's some more tasty dividends for Mr. Goat to munch. On the 22nd, I received my first ever dividends from the London Stock Exchange Group. The shares are up slightly this year. They pay a small dividend of 1.4%. I like to keep this one outside the ISA when I've filled my allowance for the year. As you can see here, the dividend history is very impressive, with the company able to grow the dividend year after year. This month, LSEG paid me a total of £35. On the 23rd, I received a cash bonanza from Aviva. The shares are doing well this year, up 11.6%. There is a very beefy dividend of 6.9% spread over 2 payments a year. For the last 4 years, the dividends have been increasing. Way back in 2009, I received my first ever dividend from Aviva. This company really did start the ball rolling. This month, Aviva paid out a total of £310. And I bet you can guess what I'll be doing with those tasty dividends. If you want to start your own goat feeding journey, then why not sign up to Trading 212, a really cost-effective platform, which not only gives you a free share worth up to £100, but is also commission-free, and currently earns you 5.2% interest on your cash balance. Just click on the link in the video description to start your investing journey today. On the 29th of May, it was the turn of Croda to reward its shareholders. The shares are down 6% this year, however. There is a small dividend of 2.4%. As you can see here, Croda has raised the dividends for the last 12 consecutive years. This month, Croda paid out a total of £110. On the 30th, it was the turn of Greencoat Wind Energy to pay out. The shares are not having a great year, however, down 7.6%. This is another company which pays out 4 times a year, and the yield is 7.4%. Every year since inception, the company has paid out a higher dividend. This month, Greencoat Wind Energy paid me a total of £185. And now for the monthly premium bond draw. The prize rate is currently 4.4%. There is one draw a month, you have easy access to your money, and there is a chance to win £1 million each month. All winnings are tax-free. The first £1 million winner this May was based in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight and held a total of £45,000 in bonds. The second lucky winner was based in Outer London with a much lower holding of £10,000 in bonds. I use premium bonds as my emergency fund, kept out of the stock market on purpose, so hopefully I never have to sell my shares and can allow them to compound over time. No £1 million prize for me this month, but I did manage to win £250. The bar on the left shows what I would have expected to win so far this year with the full amount invested and average luck. The bar on the right shows what I've actually won in the first 5 months of this year. We are well behind at the moment. It will be interesting to see how this changes as the year goes by. Why not subscribe to follow the journey? And now for the overall passive income summary. The green bars on this graph show my passive income for the first 5 months of last year, and the blue bars are for this year. The total for this May was £1,510. This graph shows my average monthly share dividends since I started the journey in 2009. This does not include premium bonds and is only share dividends. I find it so motivating seeing these bars go up year after year. In 2009, when I started, I was receiving just £8 a month in share dividends. At the time of this video, I'm now receiving an average of £1,296 a month in share dividends, and it's all tax-free. I'll shortly be revealing everything I've been buying and selling this May, but first a quick look at the FTSE 100 ex-dividend dates for the month ahead. A total of 17 companies go ex-dividend in June. If you own the shares before the ex-dividend date, then you are entitled to the dividend, which will be paid to you on the payment dates. And here are all the payment dates for June. I'll be receiving dividends from the companies highlighted here. This screen shows the highest yields, with Phoenix Group leading the way at almost 10.5%. With very high yields, however, there tends to be more risk of a dividend cut, something which recently happened to Vodafone and National Grid. More about National Grid in a moment. The average yield of the FTSE 100 is currently 3.5%, and my own portfolio is actually lower at 3.3%, but my yield on cost is now 6.1%. That's the dividend yield I'm getting on the total amount of money I've drip-fed in since the start. Don't forget I also get capital growth on top of this. For the whole of 2023, my total return was 9.6%. Now for all my buys and sells, and all I ask in return is a quick tap of that like button, as it really helps out the channel. Right, let's kick off with an ETF I've been buying for the very first time. This one gives me exposure to over 3,000 companies from around the world and is one of the most popular ETFs out there. Its name is VWRL, and you can buy it just like a normal share. Here are the largest companies that you would have exposure to. US companies make up around 62% of this ETF. The dividend yield is close to 2% spread over 4 payments a year, and there is an ongoing charge of 0.22%. So far this year, VWRL is up 11%. I've also added more to Experian, which is a relatively new company to the portfolio. National Grid is another share I've been buying plenty of since the share price plummeted on 2 successive days, following an announcement of a rights issue and a dividend cut. Basically, National Grid are planning to raise £7 billion from their shareholders to help fund a major infrastructure upgrade. They are issuing 7 new shares for every 24 you already hold, and the price of these shares will be £6.45, which is a discount to the market price, which at the time of this video is £8.85. I intend to take up and pay for the full allowance of discounted shares. You would expect a share price fall on this sort of news, but the announcement was unexpected, and I believe the market may have overreacted. So I've therefore jumped in and have bought more shares at these lower prices, even before the rights issue takes place. I believe this company will do well over the long term, but I don't have a crystal ball, and I could of course be wrong. And now for the sales, and I've taken the decision to trim AstraZeneca for the sole purpose of generating funds to pay for the National Grid rights issue. This is only temporary and I intend to buy back the AstraZeneca shares later in the year. Investing takes time and patience, and I made sure I was totally debt-free before starting this portfolio. To see how I became debt-free on a pretty ordinary salary, then click this video here.